So this is a follow-up post from my previous one, which is stop writing messy LLM code. This talks about design pattern. If you have not seen that, I'd recommend you to have a look into this. Okay, let's get started into this. Okay, what if I told you that there is a way in which you can make AI response predictable, just as any other regular API call? You don't need to deal with parsing the messy text. There's no runtime surprises. It is just clean, type-safe responses that you get. Your IDE will work nicely with it. Your refactoring works and everything, right? That's what we are going to look into today. So let's dive into how are we going to build type-safe LLM APIs. Okay. So the first thing, right? Anytime you want to actually put LLM, right, responses which are by design unstructured into a pipeline or maybe a predictable flow, you need to keep doing few things, right? Every and again, right? So one is you need to parse the response text, put some structure around it, then deal with the whole serialization, deserialization, and many times this is not going to work out. So you need to kind of handle the parsing error. So that's what it is. Now just imagine you have to keep doing this every time, right? For any LM call you have, that is going to be pretty laborious. And I'm sure you don't want to do that again, right? So it makes sense to go and build a API for this one. So that's what we will look into. Okay, so here's an experimental library that I have written. Later I'll walk through the code as well, calling it Generative AI Service. This provides very clean interface when you're talking to LLM so that you can get structured response. And this is very easy to implement, right? So on my previous video, you saw that is what we were doing and then some patterns around it. I take this thing and then put into type safety stuff, right? And then there are a few variations of it. That's what you have to do. Whatever comes out, do structured prompting and then get a structure out of it and then convert into whatever type safety mechanism you want to use. Here I'm taking JSON and then converting into a Java object. Okay, that's what it looks like. Under the hood, how does all this works is very straightforward. You get the message, the raw text message, you get the JSON out of it, and then there's a casting operation that happens. That's what it is. So very easy thing. Okay, let's look at some example, right? How do you do? Before you start using this API, you need to create what we call value object, right? Or maybe a data structure that is going to hold your responses back. So in this case, I've got a product suggestion, right? So and it has got all these attributes. Then I've got my simple kind of prompts that is going to suggest some products, right? Name, descriptions, and what type of feature it has. This using a parameterized LM calls, right, which we learned on my last video. You do all this stuff, specify the structure, construct your LM call, pass in the parameter, prepare the request, and this is what you get out and done, right? So now you're dealing with type safe stuff, and that is going to actually take care of all of this. If you're interested, let's see how all of this is implemented. So I'll go to my GitHub. Okay, so this is the project LM API, which you can go and try. So this is the client. You will see exactly same code, right? What I just now shared, right? Which is doing. Feel free to go and run this. We'll look into really how this is implemented a little bit. So same project, I'm looking into few implementations. So here I have got few implementations, right? Let's see one of these. If I go into OpenAI one, right? This is the implementation. What it does, it is just returning plain text reply. And then remember when I showed you in the interface where I try to wrap this up, like here, if I go in here, this is my wrapping piece, right? This is what takes care of all that response that comes up. You go and implement this for whatever is your under hood the LLM, right? For example, here you can go and see a couple of them that I have implemented. For example, there is one for Google, which takes care the data model of the Google and then take care, right? So that's what it is. Try this thing to make your LLM very reliable. Once you start doing these type of programming patterns, this is going to make your LLM very predictable. Please try the code which is available here. Thank you. See you next time.